Creatures and monsters have appeared in text and oral legends way before the monsterverse or movie kaijus captured our imagination. Sometimes they are the inspiration and model for fictional monsters that we see in television and games. In fact, most of the time, the most terrifying of these movie monsters are taken from these mythological ones. Take it this way, the mythological monsters are movie monsters without the CGI or animatronics that we nowadays employ to bring them to life. Our ancestors had a very vivid imagination and their stories of giant and terrible beasts live on to this day. And with that, we bring to you the 15 most powerful mythological monsters from around the world. Number 15. The Hydra. The Lernian Hydra or Hydra of Lerna, more often known simply as the Hydra, is a serpentine water monster in Greek and Roman mythology. In the canonical Hydra myth, the monster is killed by Heracles, or Hercules, as the second of his 12 labors. According to Hesiod, the Hydra was the offspring of Typhon and Echidna. It had poisonous breath and blood so virulent that even its scent was deadly. The Hydra possessed many heads, the exact number of which varies according to the source. How powerful is it? The Hydra's most potent ability is the power to regrow any of its head that is cut off, with twice as many in its place. She is also said to be extremely venomous, killing someone with a single scent of her breath. Number 14. The Bakunawa. The Bakunawa is a serpent-like dragon in Philippine mythology. The movements of the Bakunawa served as geomantic calendar system for ancient Filipinos and were part of the shamanistic rituals of the Babylon. It is usually depicted with a characteristic looped tail and a single horn on the nose. It was generally believed to be a sea serpent but are also variously believed to inhabit either the sky or the underworld. In the Bicolano mythology, Bakunawa is a gigantic sea serpent deity of the deep and the underworld who is often considered as the cause of eclipses. The Bakunawa is also sometimes known as a Naga, from the synchronization with the Hindu-Buddhist serpent deity Naga. How powerful is it? It is believed to be the cause of eclipses, earthquakes, rains and wind. Number 13. The Jinn. Jinn, also romanized as the Jinn or anglicized as genies, are supernatural creatures in early pre-Islamic Arabian and later Islamic mythology and theology. Individual Jinn are commonly depicted as monstrous and anthropomorphized creatures with body parts from different animals or human with animalistic traits. Jinn are assumed to be able to appear in the shape of various animals such as scorpions, cats, owls and onagas. The Jinn are also related to the wind. They may appear in mist or sandstorms. But how powerful is a Jinn? The Jinn can possess a person or an object, and Jinn are impervious to human weapons. Jinn can only be exorcised from a possessed person. Number 12. The Kraken. This is a legendary cephalopod-like sea monster of gigantic size that looks like a squid or an octopus in Scandinavian folklore, and contrary to popular belief, it is not from the Greek sagas. According to the Norse sagas, the Kraken dwells off Norway and Greenland coasts and terrorizes nearby sailors. The sheer size and fearsome appearance attributed to the Kraken have made it a common oceanic dwelling monster in various fictional works. The Kraken has been the focus of many superstitious sailors passing the North Atlantic. How powerful is it? It is said to be able to take down an entire galley or a ship underwater. Some legends say that it can create whirlpools, and the Kraken can be ferocious and merciless, tearing the ship to splinters without any regard for human life. Number 11. The Chimera. The Chimera was a ferocious fire-breathing monstrosity that possessed the body and head of a lion, with the head of a goat protruding from its back and a snake of a tail. The Chimera is traditionally considered to have been a female and was said to have given birth to the Sphinx and the Nemean lion. The monster was feared and believed to have been an omen for storms, shipwrecks, and other natural disasters. How powerful is she? The only way to defeat it was through trickery. Bellerophon, a Greek hero, had to ride the Pegasus towards the monster, and just as the Chimera opened its mouth to scorch the hero with fire, Bellerophon drove the lead into its creature's mouth. The fiery breath of the Chimera melted the lead and caused the creature to suffocate and die. Number 10. The Mean Okawa. The Mean Okawa is a giant dragon-like bird in Philippine legends. Early people believed this creature so big that it can swallow the sun to explain the occurrence of eclipses. It is even described as a giant bird named Mean Okawa that lives in the outer space, which can devour the sun and the moon, and would try to do the same with the earth. In the Bagobo tale, the Mean Okawa is a bird as large as an island. Its feathers are those of sharp swords, and the eyes reflect like mirrors. Its beak and legs are like steel. It lives outside the sky at the eastern horizon. How powerful is it? Well, given the fact that it can swallow the sun and the moon, its immense size is a testament to its equally physical power. Number 9. The Eastern Dragon. The Chinese dragon, also known as the East Asian dragon or Long, are legendary in Chinese mythology, Chinese folklore and East Asian culture at large. Chinese dragons have many animal-like forms such as turtles and fish, but are most commonly depicted as snake-like with 4 legs. The ancient Chinese referred to unearthed dinosaur bones as dragon bones and documented them as such. But gradually the myths grew about ancient dragons like Shenlong and Tianglong. And how powerful are they? They traditionally symbolize potent and auspicious powers, particularly control over water, rainfall, typhoons and floods. The dragon is also a symbol of power, strength and good luck for people who are worthy of it in East Asian culture. Number 8. The Leviathan. The Leviathan is a creature with the form of a sea serpent from Jewish belief, referenced in the Hebrew Bible in the book of Job, Psalms, Isaiah and of Amos. The Leviathan of the book of Job is a reflection of the older Canaanite Lotan, a primeval monster defeated by the god Baal Hadad. Later Jewish sources describe the Leviathan as a dragon who lives over the sources of the deep and who, along with the male land monster Behemoth, will be served up to the righteous at the end of time. How powerful is she? She was stated by Yohanan bar Napaha, an ancient rabbi, as being 300 miles in length, and if reproduced, the offspring would destroy the world. Other powers include the heat from its mouth makes the deep boil, and it eats a whale a day. Number 7. Vitra. Vitra is a Vedic serpent or dragon in Hinduism, the personification of drought and adversary of Indra. Vitra is identified as an Asura. Vitra is also known from the Vedas as Ahi. He appears as a dragon blocking the course of the rivers and is heroically slain by Indra. According to the Rig Veda, Vitra kept the waters of the world captive until he was killed by Indra, who destroyed all the 99 fortresses of the Vitra before liberating the imprisoned rivers. The combat began soon after Indra was born, and he had drunk a large volume of Soma at Jayatri's home to empower him before facing Vitra. How powerful was it? Given its size and the fact that it broke 2 jaws of Indra, it is one of many comparative dragon adversaries of gods in various parallel mythologies. Number 6. Fenrir. He is a monstrous wolf in Norse mythology. Fenrir, together with Hel and the world serpent, is a child of Loki and the giantess Angrboda. He is attested in the poetic Edda, compiled in the 13th century from earlier traditional sources. Fenrir is the father of the wolf Skoll and Hati Horvinsson, and is a son of Loki and is foretold to kill the god Odin during the events of Ragnarok, but will in turn be killed by the Odin's son Vidar. How powerful is Fenrir? According to one version of the myth, Fenrir will devour the sun, and in Ragnarok he will fight against the chief god Odin and swallow him. Fenrir is described as a wolf who would one day grow into a monstrous size. His existence causes great fear in the gods, particularly Odin, who foresaw his own demise at the creature's jaws during Ragnarok. Number 5. Typhon. He was a monstrous serpentine giant and one of the earliest creatures in Greek mythology. According to the Hesiod, Typhon was the son of Gaia and Tartarus. Typhon attempted to overthrow Zeus for the supremacy of the cosmos. The two fought a cataclysmic battle which Zeus finally won with the aid of his thunderbolts. Defeated, Typhon was cast into Tartarus. And how powerful is he? In size and strength, he surpassed all the offsprings of the earth. As far as the thighs, he was of human shape and of such prodigious bulk that he outtopped all the mountains, and his head often brushed the stars. One of his hands reached to the west and the other to the east, and from them projected 100 dragons' heads. So he is pretty powerful. Number 4. Jormungandr. Also known as the Midgard or the world serpent, she is the middle child of the giantess Angrboda and Loki. According to the Norse folklore, Odin took Loki's 3 children by Angrboda, the wolf Fenrir, Hel and Jormungandr, and tossed Jormungandr into the great ocean that encircles Midgard. The serpent grew so large that it was able to surround the earth and grasp its own tail. How powerful is it? The monster's arch-enemy is the thunder god Thor, which would put him high on the chart for being the main enemy of Thor. It is said to bring about Ragnarok, and both Thor and it will die fighting each other at the end. Number 3. The Beast of Revelation. In the Christian mythology, The description of the beast is found primarily in Revelation chapters 13 and 17. Chapter 13 gives the fullest description. John saw it as rising up of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon its horns 10 crowns, and upon its heads the name of blasphemy. According to the text, the beast and the false prophet gather the kings of the earth and their armies to prepare for war against he who sits on the white horse. The battle results in the beast being seized and thrown alive into the lake of fire. How powerful is he? Although this monster will appear in the future, the power he would wield is tremendous, as being immortal and immune to human weapons, only being defeated by the heavenly host and God himself. Number 2. Tiamat. Taken from the ancient texts of Babylon, Tiamat was the shining personification of salt water who roared and smote the chaos of original creation. She and Apsu filled the cosmic abyss with the primeval waters, and she is the Umu Hubur who will form all things. Tiamat possessed the Tablet of Destinies, and in the primordial battle, the deities gathered in terror, but Anu, first extracting a promise that he would be revered as the king of the gods, overcame her, armed with the arrows of the wind, a net, a club, and an invincible spear. How powerful is she? As it took the power of the king of the gods, along with other deities, to defeat her, she is no doubtedly the most powerful, also because she held the Tablet of Destinies, and supposedly whoever possessed the tablet ruled the universe. Apophis, also known as Apep, is a great serpent enemy of the sun god Ra in ancient Egyptian religion. The sun was Ra's great barge which sailed through the sky from dawn to dusk and then descended into the underworld. As it navigated through the darkness of night, it was attacked by Apophis, who sought to kill Ra and prevent sunrise. On board the great ship, a number of different gods and goddesses are depicted in differing eras, as well as the justified dead, and all these help fend off the serpent. How powerful is it? Apophis is associated with earthquakes, thunder, darkness, storms, and death, and is sometimes linked to the god Set. Also associated with chaos, disorder, storms, and darkness, and given that it takes many gods to defeat it along with Ra, it is on top of the list. And with this, we come to the end of the list, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more of these videos. Till next time. Oh, and hit that notification bell for regular updates.